Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversations. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Hello, hello, hello. I have a question for you. Have you ever felt completely lost? You know, seeking purposeful direction that could and should propel your mission within your divine journey to that next level, but still it hasn't happened. Well, my name is Lauren Michaels Harris, and I'm the founder of P3, the Journey Series. People come to me because they're wounded. Many are scared, and even there are those who are bruised simply because they feel that they are increasingly, for whatever reason, losing their ability to dream. Now, this P3 program is not for a person who's just looking to start a business, no, but rather for those of you out there who have been on your journey and you've been navigating within your divine purpose, but you still desire to elevate to that level that you have not reached yet. If this is appealing, if this describes you, then I want to have a chat with you. I want to hear your story. So use the link below to get registered for your free seat at P3, the Journey Series. And let's get started, one story at a time. I'll see you inside. Click the link. Morning. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Monday edition. It's Bathroom Moments, and I'm Dr. Lauren. How was your weekend? Oh, boy. A little bit too fast, right? Okay, I feel you on that one. Welcome. It's Monday, my favorite day of the week. Kind of. Cue Karen Carpenter. Rainy day. And it's both. It's raining here right now in the Chicagoland area, and it's Monday. But they don't get me down. They get me up. So that's what we're here to do. We're here to encourage each other, inspire each other, pour into each other,
But most importantly, what we're doing together, even just two of us, we're unleashing the power found within that promise. It's a universal one that guarantees us that if only two of us or more come together with that mindset, that heart set of being of service to other, of finding ways to ease more suffering in this world. You know what happens when we do that. That's right, spiritual magic. And speaking of magic, that bell is very powerful. Why? Because it is a reminder that just like the truth, there is a ring to it. There it is. So when I ring the bell during the course of the hour, it means you're running around doing all kinds of things. But when you hear the bell, tune in, lean in, because there's something in there that I'm sure you're going to want to take with you. Can I get an amen? Oh, I'll kick it off. I'm not scared. There's one. Listen, good morning to all of you. You're beautiful, just beautiful. I see you doing all those things, getting ready for the week ahead. So great lineup this week, by the way. I don't have many announcements, but I do have one. I want to say today's guest is Tammy De Mirza. I hope I'm saying it right. Mirza. I want to find out. It's one of those. She's probably heard them all. She's here today, and I'm not going to let it out of the bag yet what she's talking about, what we're talking about, but it's coming. Karen DeLuch is here tomorrow. Ooh, one of my faves, Dr. Michelle Arhana. She's here on Wednesday. And Travis Lee, a new young man to the scene, sharing his story for the very first time Thursday, and then wrapping out the week, wrapping it up, rather, bringing it all to a close on Friday, is Adam Duvall. You guys know him, mental health warriors from the UK. He'll be here catching us up on what's been going on in his life. So that's what's coming up this week. Also, Wednesday, I'm going to tell you why I did this. I'm going to take just how we're doing on time. Okay, I'm going to take just a second to talk about this. I am inviting you all to come on over to a free workshop on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Central. It's 90 minutes. I'm doing it. I'll tell you why. I hear it from so many of you out there. Hey, Dr. Lauren, remember the book you wrote? There it is. It's not a shameless plug, but kind of is. Way back, years ago, 2015, when I first started speaking, tore it up. E-speakers, Thumbtack, all of them broke all the records. 172 paid speaking gigs that very first year. Matter of fact, they both talk about it in this book. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the book in you, the story in you. And I hold space. I hold a lot of space for listening and offering ways to help so many of you with these compelling stories to get your antidote to market. Why did I call it that? Because that's what it is. Our trauma served at the time as a poison. It really was. But listen, in order to create the antidote, you first have to have the poison. Duh. Okay? So that means get that poison into a better form so that you can give it to the next person who was stung or bitten by whatever poisoned you, and it poisoned them, and you have the antidote. Let's say it's in here. Show up Wednesday, and I'm going to show you how to get the antidote together. And I also have hacked, really, what these people who hire us as speakers are looking for. If you do just a few simple tweaks, I am telling you, you can get booked over and over. I'm looking over at my gig board. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 9 over there that are still coming up, and we've done about 17 since January 1st. And so I'm telling you, it works. Find out how. Come on over. I'm going to put the link. There's a link. It's already in your chat. I put it in the chat, so don't click it now. You can click it afterwards, but it looks like this. Okay? You'll find that in there. It's all over my social media. Go over to Eventbrite, get a free ticket, and I will see you Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central, or send the information to someone you know. Every time you talk, you'll go, girl, dude, you need to get that story out where people can heal from it, learn from it, and grow from it or through it for thousands of years. Okay? If that sounds like something you can get behind, use your power of words and bless someone. The power of you. You can bless. Just pass it on. Okay, you guys, she's here. First timer. She's a pro, though, so I don't think she's worried at all. She must have a hair and makeup team because she came glammed out, y'all, ready for you. She really did. So, listen, let me tell you who's here today. Miss Tammy De Mirza. I like that. D-E. Well, you'll see. It's one of those cool, like, Italian names, I believe. She's known internationally as the Breakthrough Alchemist. She is an exceptional intuitive. She's an author. She's also a spiritual guide. How does she do it? What does she do? Well, she helps people unveil the unseen forces that shape their lives. Now, through her unique approach that taps into the conscious, subconscious, and superconscious. How much you know about that third one? You're going to learn more. She can assist just about everybody, all of her clients, in releasing limiting beliefs and embracing abundance and fulfillment. She's the author of 2 books, The Inmate and the Medium, and 65 Signs That You're an Older Soul. But I know for a fact that she has another book, which is her latest book, Superpowers Unleashed, How to Identify and Monetize Your Senses. So that's what we're doing today. Let's get Miss Tammy in here. I hear her clickety clacket. She must have wore heels coming down the hallway. You guys put some hearts on the screen. It's our way of saying welcome. Here she comes. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I tell you what, this is already so much fun being with you. I absolutely love what you're doing.
Oh, thank you. Tammy, clear it up for us. There's an elephant in the room about your last name. Would you say it properly, please?
It is De Mirza.
I had it completely wrong. De Mirza. There we go. Okay. And is that an Italian name?
It's actually Iranian.
Where?
Iranian. I married an Iranian.
Okay. I have an Iranian coaching client. Hi, Subade. And so how interesting. Okay. So have you visited the country?
No, I haven't. I mean, his grandfather, his father was actually a prince, but because the royals were being murdered, they ran to France and they put the D-E in front of Mirza.
So they could hide out.
No, the ones all the children that were born here, and we're divorced now, but all the children that were born here just keep the name. And it's really neat. None of them have ever been to Iran that I know of.
I love the name.
Yeah, it's pretty, isn't it?
It really is. It has even though I didn't know how to say it, I could tell I liked it. So speaking of what I like you and I like what you do. And I want to give you 60 seconds to kind of pour into the audience. Fill in between the lines if you can. A lot came out of my mouth during that brief little piece of your bio. Based on what you're feeling today here, because you're a grand intuitive. You really are. I experienced it personally myself. Go ahead and pour into everybody, and then I'll come back in and we'll get started. Sound good?
Yes. Thank you so much. So what I learned is that you as individuals have a lot of things that you don't even know you have assigned meaning or a story to. And so what I do is go into the subconscious and I can tell you what happened in your lives, giving you details if we need to, just so that you can put the puzzle of your lives together so that you can make different choices. We have a tendency to keep doing the same things over and over again, expecting different results. Well, how do you do that if you don't really know what is in the subconscious that is blocking you or causing you to repeat the same patterns? I'm that intuitive that does that for you.
Okay. So let's just get started with it, if we could.
Yes.
First question from me to you is, how do people find you? When they come to you, do they really know what they're looking for, or are they kind of just Helen Kellering it, just feeling around? They know something, but they don't know what to call it.
I look at myself as the end of the train track. I think a lot of people have tried to do their own self-growth. They've gone to Tony Robbins. They've gone to all these events. They've read the books. They're definitely on a journey. They know that something big is missing. They know that they came here to do something big. And a lot of my clients have just been like this right here, find me on the internet internationally, and then they go, oh my God, she's not a bullshitter. She's my teacher. And then they come to me. They don't really know anything more than I'm hurting. I'm in pain. I'm not doing what my life purpose is. I can feel it. And I don't really know what it is. So a lot of people have tried a bunch of different things. They have heightened senses and abilities. They're what I call old souls. They live a different life. What they do is they experience things like accentuated 10 to 100 to 1,000 times. I explain old souls as you could be in a room with 3,000 people, and there might be two of you that are going to hear more and get more and feel more and experience more than anybody else in the room. Well, what do you do with that when most of humanity is playing smaller, if you know what I mean? I'm not judging. I'm just saying your awareness is heightened.
Wow. So I know exactly what needs to be said here, because you and I talked about this in the pre-interview, and I don't think a lot of people realize the people who we serve. You and I are pretty much in the same lane, and how I don't feel like I choose my clients. I don't feel that they choose me. I know that we are chosen for each other, and there's nothing we can do about it, but just lean into it, surrender to the moment. So having said that, you know as well as I do, one of the heaviest pieces that people like us carry is the burned out rubble of the people that come to us that have been broken so many times over through false promises. They were duped, they were misled. And I just wish I could put my finger on how they get away, the people who do this over and over and over. What is that people don't have a vetting process? Do you think, Tammy, that they're believing the promotional material more than they're listening to their first mind about whether if this is right for you or not? Why are people getting burned over and over and over when they go out looking for what we offer?
For me, it's that you don't even know who you are. So if you don't know, like my latest book that you mentioned, Superpowers Unleashed, what this is about is getting you to turn the mirror on yourself, to look at who you are. How do you process things? How do you assimilate information? Do you hear it? Do you see it? Do you feel it? Do you taste it? Do you smell it? How do you process it? If you don't really know who you are and how you function, you're not coming across to the world as being home, safe. So then how do you possibly know what it is that you want? So what people are typically doing, Dr. Lauren, is they're responding to the pain that is an innate knowing something's off, I'm missing something. I know I'm not doing what I came here to do, but they're lost. They don't really know how to find it. So old souls typically give their power away because they've been taught, you better not speak, you better not share what you know, you better not share your awareness. Our families have a tendency to turn on us like, you're speaking Greek, why are you talking? I don't want your help. So these people are in great pain, and unless you get the hand of somebody who understands you and how you function and what you do, and you find a spiritual teacher like you and I that actually can guide them home to themselves to help them identify who they are, how are they ever going to use their intuition or their discernment? It's almost impossible. And I know you know a lot about this, right?
That's a hard question for me to answer, because I feel like I do. However, because I'm the student as well as a teacher, too, I feel innately that I've barely gotten a drop of that water known as that ocean of possibilities.
Yes.
So you know what I'm saying? I mean, yes and no at the same time. But I do know this. I just can't figure out. Maybe it's not for me to know, because it does. I always say this: purpose is like a need to know so that you can grow. A need to know based on need to grow experience. So I'll wake up if I'm seeking. I will see what I need when I need what I see. And that's one of my litmus tests. When things go in both directions, it works in both, like an alliteration, it works in both directions. It's one of those things. And so I tell people all the time, Tammy, that they told me, the spirits told me, spirit guides, way back at the beginning when I was just yawning and stretching and waking up. Lauren, let's just say Source has a bookshelf behind the desk with a volume. Did I tell you this? A volume of how it works for each of us. Yours is one of those yellow, black, and white books, How to Whatever Dummies. And at first I was kind of like, what you trying to say? But then it dawned on me, that's a wonderful thing. And I love it because what we're talking about here is available for all. And it is not as difficult as we make it. And I'm glad I have ADHD, my superpower. I'm glad that that my first mind connected to source usually wins out. It's my go-to because I have a naturally lazy spirit. So I'm like, really? Fine. If that's the easiest way to get there, let's go. So I want you to talk about this. When people don't know themselves, that's a big piece right there. Why or how, what do we do in order to move that out of the way? What is it that you would say is the number one reason people cannot believe their own potential?
We're not really taught to do that. What we're taught to do is to get in alignment with what everybody thinks is right, is best. The teachers, the parents, don't do this. Don't express yourself. Don't have your own thoughts. Some of that is changing with the parenting styles as it comes along. But in my generation and in yours and people behind us, what we did was get in line, sit up straight, say this way, answer the phone this way, whatever it is, do what everybody else tells you to do. So there's this piece of art that I absolutely love, Dr. Lauren, that only my clients have seen that I need to publish. And it's this big circle. And inside the circle, there's thousands of arrows going around and around and around and around the truth. And the truth is right in the center. Well, when the world teaches us, you really don't matter, or you're too different, or you're a threat because of your awareness. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't understand you. Or like with me on the playground at 11, telling this kid, Fred, why didn't you tell me your grandmother was in the hospital and almost died? She's been in the hospital for 3 days. Why didn't you tell me? I would have prayed for her. And he went, my grandmother's not in the hospital. And he goes home and he asked his parents, is grandmother in the hospital? And they said, yes, she's been there for 3 days. And he said, did she almost die? And they said, yes. Who told you this? You can't play with her anymore. So what's happened is that we express ourselves as very innocent being as children. But I learned from that, oh, no, you can't exactly say what you know. Why do you know what you know? Why do you have this awareness if you can't express it? And I'll be honest with you, it wasn't until I was in my late 20s that I really got wise about what I could share, should share. But that closes you up. It pulls you into very much like the movie Frozen, Elsa, who was basically told, hide it, conceal it, don't feel it. Not in those words, those are mine. So what I do is work with people that are actually hiding. And if you've gotten in that place of hiding, concealing, it might hurt somebody or it might hurt you to have these abilities or to come out of hiding, then we're really undermining ourselves and what we came here to fulfill. So it's like getting out of prison and realizing that you have the keys to your own prison. And once you come out of that hiding, you just fly your freak flag.
There you go. That's it. That's it right there. Now, what about this? It was hard enough. No, I retract. I'm going to reframe that. It was challenging enough for me personally before the onslaught of AI to tune in and then trust unconditionally my intuition, my intuitive gifts, because I had to get rid of that too good to be true. Are you kidding me? Kind of mindset, which was all in my voice, out of the way so that I could tap into it. So my question is, how do you feel it's going to become more challenging for people to trust their own innate intuition? Because so many are learning little by little on how to depend on AI. They get it to right already. I know I have to get on my coaching clients when they're working on a keynote or they're working on a post or whatever. I'll just throw it into Chat GPT, talk about that. because I know you know something about this.
Yes. I will tell you that I have somebody working on AI for me to put all of my content in one area and then actually have a membership, because I have thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of hours. And one of the things that she said she wanted to do was the AI videos of me with my voice, with my persona. And then she changed her mind. And I said, why is it that you don't want to do these videos for me? Why do you want me to do these personally? Because now she wants me to do 30 of them. And she said, AI cannot replicate your energy or what you say or how you say it.
See?
So that's to your point. What's happening is that we are brought in this reality and we're told what to think. We're told what to believe. It's prejudice. It's all these different things that comes from generations and generations of living, and we're not taught, what do you feel? So this kind of goes along with the clairsentience is actually, and that's one of the 5 senses that I talk about, is feeling. Now I use my hands because it gets really hot in my hands, but clairsentience is the only one of the 5 senses that is not in a specific location in the body. It is all over the body. And guess what? That is actually your inner guidance system. So if someone were to teach you, which is actually what I do and why I wrote this book and the journal and the course and everything that I'm doing with this, I'm bringing people home to themselves and helping them realize that if it feels out of alignment, if it doesn't feel good, if it feels stressful, if it feels convoluted, if it feels confusing, if it doesn't feel good, then it's not resonating, it's not in alignment, and it's actually not your truth. But Dr. Lauren, how many people are actually teaching people you have your own inner guidance system? Don't give your power away. You can feel whether it resonates or not, whether it is your truth, whether or not you do this or not. This is why I wrote this latest book, is to get people to tap into, you have your own discernment. You have your own brilliant inner guidance system.
Yeah.
When people say you have the answers within you, but they don't show you how to get those answers within you, then we're just getting people upset and frustrated.
Which there's no shortage of to begin with. Now, I, for one, I'd love your take on this. I, for one, am constantly talking to just anybody I talk with, family, friends, people just that I meet from day to day, on the importance of, because I catch it when it comes out of their mouths. I can't help it. I fiercely protect that gate, for myself. So I automatically hear when someone else's gate is not attended. Let's put it that way. And what I'm referring to is when people don't name things that are moving around in their world. You guys have heard me say many times in speeches and in my promos, things that do not serve you must go. But you can't demand that they go if you don't know their name, or you haven't, you just say, I always use this example. Hi, Brenda, how's it going? Awful. What's wrong? Everything. What do you mean? Just my job. What about your job? Just everybody. When really she should say, it's that bitch Gail in HR who is giving me a rough time every single day, because now you can go there and you can say, I need to work this out with Gail. Where is she? Upstairs. Take the elevator to the 3rd floor, get off, turn right, go down the hall. She's the last office on the left. Now you have a road to make something better. When you don't name things, I believe personally, because that's what I got the download, I was told that that's a bad thing to do. Excuse me, because the longer we leave things that do not serve us roaming around our worlds unattended or unnamed, the more time we're giving them to trick us into serving them. And so I want to get your take as a guide and as an intuitive about why it's so important. I started with naming the things that were serving me. I named the things that were serving me because now they have a place. Their name is on the mailbox. You see, their name is on the mailbox. And that means blessing, increase. And I learned not to make my labels or my names too specific. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Right. So increase, abundance, all those things, they used to visit my world. because I didn't have their name on the mailbox. The only time I open the front door to those things anymore is when they have forgotten their keys, because they live here. They live here. So I want you to talk about that's what you were alluding to when you said people don't know how to get there. How can you help people put the names of all those things that serve them on the mailbox?
Oh, I love this, and I'm going to go pretty deep in it, if that's okay.
It's okay. I'm going to give you the stage. Go right ahead.
Good. I realized a long time ago that there's a very difference between fear energy and love energy. Fear energy is ambiguous. It's unclear. There's no real direction. There's no real graduation. There's no real completion. There's really no answers. There's frustration. I could do a list of 1,000 words, but one of the biggest one is unclear. Love energy is very clear, very simple, very concise, fast moving, support, miracles, graduation, moving to the next level, getting people supernaturally to support you. It's unreal when you experience the difference between love energy and fear energy. So what you're identifying to me is what we were taught in this world is, let's get in fear energy. We're victims. If they would change, let's blame other people. You especially see this in politics. Let's blame everybody else. We're not taught to own that we are a beautiful, brilliant, spiritual being, and that we have this inner guidance system, and we have these tools in our physical body and in our emotional realm. So you've heard this spirit, mind, body. I say there's the Holy Trinity: spirit, mind, thoughts, body, all of physical. When you realize what the game is, and you can identify that's fear energy is unclear. I'm never going to get the answers there. All I'm going to do is run on a hamster wheel. I'm running fast, but nothing is really changing. Then simply put your mindset and your thoughts and what you're looking at is about fear. You're wanting somebody else to change it for you. Well, what if you moved from being a victim, which is what the world teaches us, you're a victim. There's actually a term called victimology, and in the criminal justice system, and the police know about it. What if you moved to love energy and you got free? And then you had the clarity, and then divine inspiration comes in, as so many people. Morgan Freeman talked about this in a masterclass, the divine inspiration that comes in. Michael Jackson talked about that's where he got his songs. That's where he got the words. That's where he got the music. Divine. When you're not in fear energy, then you can actually define. So in love energy, there's clarity. And the message is always, always very simple, concise, very easy, but not that easy to transition from fear energy over to love energy. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. And I'll tell you, one of the reasons I know that you're exactly right, you're spot on, is I say to people all the time, and I tell me what you think. I have a 5-prong footprint tracking system to figure out where you're at in the process of going left, going south, because I know for a fact that doubt is the culprit. That is the one. Doubt leads to worry. Worry leads to fear. Fear leads to anger. And anger leads to destruction. And so if things keep falling apart in your life, follow the dirty footprints. But first, you have to lay the right carpet in your sacred world. And how did I do that? How do I explain to people to do that? Simple. Don't occupy just space. Say it. Speak it so.
I love it.
Put a spell on it. I occupy sacred space. I don't make and create and manifest fond memories anymore. I manifest and I create divine memories. And I don't just have a bunch of good friends. I have blessed friends. So when you move these power words next to what matters to you, you have a great chance of keeping doubt out. Because I always look at it like this, Tammy. If you and I were throwing a party And we're sitting there and we got the streamers hung, all the, everything's there, the mixtape. And we look around and it's me, you, and everybody but doubt, fear, anger, worry, destruction are all sitting in there. None of them with us in there because doubt hasn't come to the party. None of them have talents. None of them have fangs. They have nothing to bite or sting us with until we crack the door, because now we're sitting there, we go, oh, shoot, who's supposed to bring the food? Oh, that would be doubt. Ding dong, right there. Oh, God, all of a sudden I'm starving. You know we're not supposed to let him in. Hey, it's me, doubt. I brought the chicken. Let me in. Smell it? Anything to get you to, well, I'm not sure. I'm going to crack the door just a little. All of a sudden, he kicks it in. Now you turn around, everybody else has fangs and talons, and they're moving towards you because you have cracked the door with doubt. Talk about it, because that ties into the intuitive, knowing what you know. And here's another thing, naming things. When I know something and I hear it that first time and that thing moves through me, like when people get the chills, that's something. That's a confirmation. That's like Holy Spirit, So as soon as I get that, I now say that the verdict is in. It is unanimous. I know this much is true. Wally Lamb wrote a book about that. I know this much is true. Once I say that, that's it. You know why? Because the truth is the only thing in this universe that never changes.
Oh,
Never changes on us. So when I can say that, I mean it. And I'm not just saying it to me and to you, Tammy. I'm saying it to all those things that do not serve me. Why? Because I'm the only one out of all of us here that can speak. Those things that do not serve me can't speak. They can't put their hands on me. And I don't waste any more time telling them to leave or do this and trying to control them. I put my power and I give permission to those things that were created to serve me, to help me find my highest self in this day. And the minute I give them that, swords are pulled, emails are sent, the table is set, all the things that I need in this day, Monday, because tomorrow is a different set of everything, happens. And then the things that don't serve me are out the door. I don't have to tell them to leave. They will leave on their own. So tell us about let's go into how you serve people and how do they get to you? How do they know they're ready? Is there some process? Should they read a book first? Do you do workshops? What's the process?
Well, I want to address something that you're talking about because I think it's brilliant. And I just want to expound on it just a little bit. When I was 13, I started being given what I now call the Breakthrough Code. And it's a 5-step process. So when you said 5 steps, I'm like, holy cow, I got 5 steps. The very first one is acknowledging. It's not denying what is happening. It's calling it out. It's what you say, giving it a name. When you identify it, fear drops. The fear energy that feels like a tidal wave. I know because I was homeless and I was literally seeing, because I'm clairvoyant, I was seeing this tidal wave and I was like, oh my God, it's about to crest. I don't know if I'm going to live. I don't know how I'm going to overcome this. So acknowledging it is all of a sudden the truth sets you free. That's the beginning to healing for me. And then after that, it's owning it. It's whether I meant to or not, whether I knew better or not, whether I was really stinking thinking or not. I created this reality. And the next step, I'm going to forgive myself. And then there's more to this Breakthrough Code. I've been using this since I was 13.
Wow.
So thank you so much. And I was wondering when you talked and you were talking about the 5 steps, I was like, how old were you when you got that, Dr. Lauren?
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah.
Who knows? To be honest with you, I believe I've gotten things all along, especially, from the moment trauma came surfing in. Because
Yes.
I believe personally that whenever that is for you, especially talking to those who were children, you were innocent, when trauma came surfing in, that was the very moment that those of us who were in there with the trauma were marked for greatness, literally marked for greatness. And so I believe we're given things. I know I was that. Here, go put this up. Put this in your spiritual Tupperware. Keep it fresh, but put it up. Don't hide it. They always said, don't hide it because you'll need to know where to find it when you need it. Even horrible things. I'd be like, put it up. Why would I need this horrible stuff?
Right.
And sometimes they would say things like, because the day is coming in your journey. It is moving towards you from the future, when you will need this up close and personal, real experience to remind you of what, at this point of your journey, you can never become. So that's how I was. Oh, that's what they mean when they say you can count it all joy.
Yeah.
Because even the things that didn't feel right had a place, and they had power to help me become a greater version of myself. So, you know, whatever the book is for dummies, that's why I probably don't have answers, because they knew, don't give him too much to go on, you know. So, yeah, I hope that answers your question.
It does. And I just want to say, I absolutely love being in the space with you, because there's such a synchronicity between the two of us. We understand each other. You told me that within 5 minutes. You're like, you're on the show. I already know you. So I love this. I love this interaction. How people find me is you can actually just go to my website, tammydemirza.com. And on that website, you can actually schedule a discovery call if you want to know, I'm hurting and I really want to know what you suggest. What services do you have? Do you have courses? I have all kinds of things. I have workshops. I have courses. I have life and breakthrough transformations. If somebody wants to be shot out of a cannon and really miraculously change their lives, they're going to choose that. I have mentoring, which is called, oddly enough, Confusion to Clarity, because that is the biggest thing that is keeping us stuck, is our confusion. And the problem is, unless you get someone to hold space for you, to really hold space for you, that has the ability to see where you are, what your patterns are, what your issues are, but then they see what the truth, this is a fake identity and this is the real identity.
Yeah.
That person, like you and me, holds space for people going, no, that's not really who you are. Let's move over here. Unless you have somebody holding that space for you, somebody like you that is broadcasting, that is prompting, that is tapping them on the cheek. Come on, wake up. We don't have to sleep anymore. We don't have to be in a coma. Unless you have somebody, it's really difficult to do that by yourself. I happen to know. But I had this direct link, and I was hearing all of this information, as you know, even 13, finding out what an empath is, and that I took on the energy of another kid, and then I'm wanting to slip my wrist when I was in a good mood, and I'm being taught constantly, still am. I realize that the more I know, the less I really know, because there's so much more out there.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's the infinity. That's the infinity. That's the definition of living within the infinity symbol. And the reason I say the infinity symbol is because that's all it is to a lot of people. It's a plaque on the wall, a little desk thing, or they wear it as, a cute piece of costume jewelry. And I remember when I was instructed, like if it were my phone, people hold the infinity definition like a phone, where they're looking right at it. But the key is to lay it where you're forced to be within it to get the value, not just to look at it, but to participate within it. And so again, that infinity symbol is when things work in both directions. It's that automatic confirmation without another person needing to be there. Yes. And it's just an amazing, amazing thing to have. And it seems so small, but boy, the results are far from small at all. But I want to put a little more light, because do you feel the confusion piece, in your opinion, Tammy, is confusion and distractions, are they the same thing? Are they one and the same?
I would say that we're actually taught to do this, so we don't really realize that we're repeating a pattern over and over and over again. But those of us who know we're not really in alignment are really in pain. It's emotionally painful. You could have the best marriage. You could have the best kids. You could go to the best schools. You could have all these degrees. But if you're not really in alignment, then you're in pain. And so for those of you that know there's something inside of you that is screaming for growth, that knows that there's something more than what you've accomplished. You might have been very successful. You might be broke. You might be in between. But when you know that there's something that you're supposed to get, guess what? It's there for you. There are some of us on this planet, like Dr. Lauren and myself, who are here, who have gone through hell, gotten the keys, came back, and are standing and going, I've probably been through more than you. And if I could go home myself to peace, to love, to where nothing really bothers me, I understand the game we're playing. I understand that infinity to me is good, bad, right, wrong. The center point that's so tiny in between that infinity symbol is where peace is. No matter what happens, I'm just at peace. I'm just, yeah, there's good, there's bad. What do I choose? What we're not teaching people enough of is that you have choices, but you don't even get to the point of thinking that you can choose because we focus on the problems, which are really just symptoms or predicaments. They're just symptoms. So the laws of attraction say that you're experiencing that which you do not want so that you will know what you want. But why is it that we get focused on the problem, on the problem, on the problem, on the problem? Because we think 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day. 85% of those are typically negative. And out of that 85%, 95% of them are regurgitating or ruminating on the exact same thoughts of yesterday. So unless you get in front of somebody that can go, okay, here's the truth about what you're doing and what you're thinking and how you're doing it, and here's your choices, and this is why it doesn't resonate, and empowers the person to realize that they can make a choice, they can create miracles. I don't care what anybody brings to me. I overcame so many things in my own life. And if I could go overcome homelessness from all of these spiritual and universal laws, you can overcome no matter what you are facing. You're not stuck. You're just living smaller than you are.
Then you are absolutely right. And I'll say this, in case somebody's looking for a little bit, I tell you, this is what I do with my clients, and I do it with myself first. I did and still do. In order to understand alignment, again, it comes back to what you have named things, how you see them. So if you haven't named something, you can't see it. You cannot see it. So for instance, alignment for me means that everything that I do on purpose, with purpose, through purpose, purposeful, full of purpose, worked in both ways. I look at it like a tile. And I'm building a floor. I'm creating and designing a floor for the world from the future that is headed to this moment, for them to walk on for thousands of years. And I grout those tiles in place through action, consistent, purposeful action. That's what holds them in place. Truth is the grout. Because that way, the grout's never going to change. It's not going to deteriorate because it's built on, the grout is made from truth. The only thing in the universe that will never change. So for me, that's how I stay in alignment. That's why I keep within reach all the things that remind me how I got here and what it takes to stay here. For instance, you see, I just reached for the 4 agreements.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, because for me, that's the thing. That's like the level that you put up on the shelf to see if it's off. So what are some of your tips for finding alignment? In a car, when your alignment's out, you take your hand off the wheel, the car goes one way or the other, or it's really bad, it shakes, and it's off. How do you help people? What are some of your tips to get yourself back in alignment? Take it away.
I love this. It's so profound what you're doing and what you're saying. So the very first thing is stop the self-abuse for being where you are. Stop judging anyone or yourself and just speak the truth of, this is what I'm experiencing. You know, you and I privately were even talking about some of the things that I have been in pain over, admitting that, speaking it. All of a sudden, the fear drops, the fear energy drops, and then you can move to the next one where you're going, how is this affecting me? Which is even a deeper way of looking at it, where I call owning it. There's a lot to that process. But the very first thing is, where are you? What is happening that you do not like in your life? If you can come to that place of truth without abusing yourself, if you can actually come to that marker of, I'm not going to abuse, I'm just going to write out or speak out loud what is happening in my life that I don't like, you've started your journey to healing the mind, because only the mind is really sick in how we look at it. So giving yourself permission to speak that truth, what you say, give a name to it. I love that. Mine is just a little bit different vernacular, but it's the same thing. Own, speak, acknowledge what is happening, but don't move into self-abuse. Because self-abuse, I have learned, is the most painful thing that I have ever been through. Self-abuse is, I don't have a pain that is worse than that in this lifetime, because you're questioning you.
You're right. And I would say, I'm just going to use this example. Thank you for helping me get there, Tammy. I really didn't know this until a couple seconds ago, honestly. What I love about, for instance, this being where I start for myself, because this is what they sent me. They told me to get my hands on this first, and I keep it. And I tell my new clients, this is mandatory. Get this first, audio book and the hard copy. And here's why. When I am out of alignment, even when it's before I get, this saves me from the self-abuse piece. For instance, let's use the second one, 4 agreements. Don't make assumptions. When I'm assuming about somebody, anything that now when I'm out of alignment, if I say something that's against these 4 principles, which we cannot break, but can find ourselves broken against, I know it. Something feels off. Feels, and I go back like, wait a minute. Because usually what I'm pointing at about them or assuming about them is the thing that's really my issue.
Yes.
So
it's about you.
Right. So again, something you can find a way back to, though everything that happens either sends you to be of service and ease suffering for someone else, or doubles back so that you can ease suffering or be of service to yourself. To yourself. It never leads, doing the right thing never leads you nowhere. Never.
I say do the inner work first and then you're of service. But you can, as you are doing the inner work, still be of service. But the most important person on the planet is you.
Yes.
And whatever it is that you are upset about is never, ever, ever about somebody else. It's that it's out of alignment for you. It's not your truth. It's not what you came here to experience.
Correct.
Wow, that's powerful.
It's very powerful. It's very powerful. And it is journey changing. And when I say journey changing, that's beyond life changing. That's like seeing, life changing is seeing the beach. Journey changing is acknowledging the horizon. That thing you see beyond the beach. Because, the reason I like those kinds of analogies is because it reminds me, don't ever think you know it all or have seen it all. There is always something beyond it. Keep reaching, keep stretching, keep going, keep growing. So on that, we are wrapping it up. Tammy, tell them about this most recent book, the Superpowers Unleashed.
It's Superpowers Unleashed. Oh, it's not really showing on the, anyway, It's Superpowers Unleashed, Identify and Monetize Your Senses. It's a way, Dr. Lauren, to get people back home to who they are, to instead of pushing things out, you come inward, you put up a mirror and you go, who am I? How do I function? How do I get in touch with my discernment and my intuition? How do I get rid of my insecurities? Just by learning about the 5 senses and how you naturally communicate and receive information, you can then use that to reach people. I teach my clients all the time how to use these techniques to hear things that are not even being said, to see things that the person is not showing you, to have that inner guidance system, and really to tap into the abilities that I have, because I know every single one of you have the same abilities I do, but nobody's taught you how to use them. What if you found out what your dominant one was? Well, there's a quiz, there's a course, there's the book, there's the journal, there's all kinds of things that you can get involved in that will help you know you. And to me, that is the highest gift that I can give a client is, who are you? Let's get you to know who you are, how you function, so that you can start making your own decisions and stop giving your power away, stop being codependent, and start owning who you are.
There you go. Couldn't have said it better myself. And I agree again. We have the same state. Our stuff came from the same manufacturing plant. We're cut from the same bolt of cloth, Tammy. We really are. Yeah. It's called what she just described. I call reading between the lines. You will be able to ascertain all the things. Really, people say you ain't got no business knowing. Because the thing where people say to you all the time, how did you know that? That's why. That's how. Reading between the lines, which is being fed to us. It's not coming from us. It's coming through us. So, thank you. Man, this was an hour that flew by. You guys, get it. Do yourself a favor and the world a favor. Get in there and check out all things Tammy. There's her website below. And we have also dropped both of those links inside your comment section. If we haven't, we will at the conclusion here in a second. Tammy's Facebook, as well as her her website. Get over and check her out. You're welcome back anytime, Tammy. And I think we should do something together sometime. We should think about that.
Love that. That feels really good. Let's do it.
I think so. Seriously. Let's talk about that. Listen, get out there today, you guys, and find just a itty bitty little piece. Start small if you need to. It's okay. It's all relative. Of your highest self. Do that. And you've added an ER into everything that is already here. You've just taken great to greater, bright to brighter, strong to stronger, and bold to bolder. 2 little letters. And tomorrow when you wake up, right before we meet on the front porch for another illuminated conversation, guess what? That ENR have now turned into RE. You will be revived, refreshed, replenished, remembered to who you originally are. I didn't say were. I said are. Take that with you and have a divine day. I'm Dr. Lauren. And on behalf of everyone here at E360 TV and Trajectory TV, have the best day ever. Now get out of here. Don't slam. Oh, Lord. That was a senior moment. Tammy, bye. I just want to say bye before I go to you. Thank you. You look great. You are great. You guys check her out. Don't let the screen door slam. And remember this. Dr. Lauren loves you. And there's not a damn thing you can do about it. Take that with you. Bye, you guys. Have a best day. Bye-bye.
Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. Shamelessly displaying my state of mind, but you